hate the homies.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to I Hate the Homies podcast. Rock Teasy is who I be, Z.
It's your boy GRIFF, and I don't have nobody for number 42 for you today. I don't. I've took enough.
No, end it. Stop there, please.
I got one for y'all.
I don't have no number 46, and I hate the homies.
Let me give you Chuck Muncie from the San Diego Chargers back in the day, running back.
I would not like to hear about any 46s either.
Don't start him.
Chuck Muncie, there you go.
He had nothing. It's your boy Super Dave, but guess what?
We don't care.
But I do. I care this time. He has nothing, and I feel so happy. He has nothing.
Oh, so let's get into something that we do have. You know what I'm saying? NCAA March Madness has come to a close. We're going to talk about the women's champion, the men's champion, Jill Biden wanting to invite the loser and the winner, which still baffles me. We got a lot to talk about. We may just have to just stop right there, but we also got to mention Patrick Beverly saying, listen, I don't have sex before games because it kind of wear you out, take all your energy out.
I heard most athletes say that though.
Yeah,
Boxers,
that's nothing new. That's nothing new. But we're gonna put some more information in intel into that. So on that note, man, let's get it popping. I Hate the Homies episode number 46 starts right now. Ray Duggar, let's go.
I hate the homies.
And of course, before we go any further, we got to shout out to our amazing partner, McDonald's, with the McCrispy chicken sandwich, the new McCrispy chicken sandwich, man. We'll break that down for you here in a few minutes. But in the meantime, March Madness is finally over, ladies and gentlemen. Do you guys want to start with the men or the women? Let's start with the men because let's get the men out the way.
Let's start with the women because they was first. Let's break it down.
I like to say the best for last because the women by far shattered the men when it comes to the entertaining factor. Listen, no disrespect to the men, but
a lot of disrespect to the men.
It's time for everybody to start showing love and jumping on the bandwagon to women's basketball and women's sports in general, because you two, and I hope you guys share your testimony on this episode today. Like, I've always been riding for women's sports because I got two daughters. They've been playing sports since they've been 5 years old. And I keep telling people the women we got some dogs out there. And I say that in a positive way. So I'll pause there and you guys tell me what you thought of women's March Madness from start all the way to the national championship game.
I'll just tell you what the three of us did. We're on a chat feed for the Final Four and the championship, only on the women. We was like, South Carolina just got knocked out. Oh my God, like, this girl Caitlin Clark is sweet. But during the championship, we text like little girls at a New Edition concert the whole game, and we ain't text one time for the men's championship.
Nope.
So this is the funny part, and GRIFF, both of y'all can attest to this because we did the group thing, the group chat, but the whole thing was on a Friday night. On a Friday night, I wasn't watching NBA. I was watching women's basketball.
Come on, man.
Couch. My wife walked in. She looked at the TV and looked at me and probably thought I was crazy as what I was watching, but I gotta admit, I was entertained, but I think the most important thing was, I think what I've seen over the last 2 weeks, we've got to know names. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. With Caitlin
Clark.
Who is it?
Caitlin Clark.
Okay, Caitlin Clark. So I still gotta know the name. So
white girl from Iowa.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was, I've never watched women's basketball.
I've never watched. I went to a WNBA Dream game.
Oh, you better than me.
I've never watched a women's basketball from beginning to end, and I watched the most women's basketball I ever watched over this past weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed it. that coach from LSU, Kim
Kim
Miss
Mulkey.
Kim.
Yes, sir.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of almost everybody on that LSU squad. Your girl, Flaujae.
Flaujae Johnson. Flaujae Johnson
is also a Rock Nation artist.
Yeah, absolutely.
She
Come
can
on.
spit.
Yeah.
Super gay. She signed with Rock Nation, dog. Like she a freshman. She was spitting before she was balling. Like she's everybody. And then when you look at Angel Reese, number 10, she's 20 years old. She went to Maryland. This is all the information. This is with no notes. She went to Maryland for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
She was the number 2 pick in the whole in the country. She was the number 2 basketball player in the country. She was doubling it with the Terrapins too, and wanted to get somewhere else. Now that she's been with LSU before the championship, her NIL deals, her name, image, and likeness deals is almost $400,000. I wouldn't go to the WNBA if I was her. I would stay another year, get the rest of your money, and then go get that little WNBA money.
But see, what everything you're saying right now is what I've been saying like the last 3 weeks. We get to know the players, and the players really have game. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Alexis Morris.
Dogs.
Go down the list.
Dogs.
But I'm telling you, on Friday night, I was sitting there watching Caitlin Clark and what she did against South Carolina, the number 1 team.
Yes, sir.
With nothing but sisters.
She slayed the giant.
Points.
She slayed the giant.
She slayed, and
single-handedly, by the way.
And especially in the 4th period, it was all her.
Come on, dog. Look,
she's the first player to have a 40-point triple-double in the game before that.
Including men. Including men.
Men.
I didn't know that.
Come on, dog. Look, let me tell you, the reason why I'm not shocked or surprised about any of this, because I've watched these girls grow up and play basketball. My daughter Harmony played against all these girls, man, in AAU on the circuit. They all were part of their respectable Nike teams. There's 32 Nike teams in the spring and summer circuit. And these top players play on one of these teams. Caitlin Clark played on Iowa Attack, which is one of the big Nike teams out of Iowa. My daughter played on DFW Elite, which is one of the big Nike teams out of Texas. So all these girls that you guys are seeing play right now, Angel Reese, she was on Team Takeoff. She was on the Nike team. Harmony and my daughter Lyric, they've been playing against these girls forever. So I'm a little bit closer to it. None of this shocks me. These girls been balling, doing this since they was, 13, 14 years old.
But
so,
Rock, the game has changed. I think when I did watch basketball, because I used to watch it when Cheryl Swoops played for Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last time I really sat down to watch a women's basketball.
Dang, boy, where you been?
I mean, every now and then,
that dude threw Cheryl Swoops out there like she played in the last 5 years. That boy,
man,
like this. The last time I watched the
last time, but I mean, but that was a name. That was a name that everybody was behind, and there was a sister everybody was behind during that time. So
yeah, but there's been a lot of big names.
No one has affected the tournament like Caitlin Clark did since Cheryl Swoops. Like they said that. Like I mean, even though she lost to LSU and we'll see what she does in the WNBA. The lady has range. The lady has handles. The lady has one more very high IQ in basketball. I'm a fan.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is, man. Caitlin Clark is one of them generational players. Like, it is what it is. They compare to Steph Curry with that range.
It was one game. It had to be LSU. And first of all, me and Griff was taking back and forth, but I kept saying, Griff said he's going with Iowa. And I said,
I did. I picked the wrong school.
And I said, man, I never noticed this against South Carolina, but I did against LSU. I'm like, when they did the starting lineup, because I guess I missed the starting lineup in the first game against South Carolina. But I said, dang, a number 1 girl starting in the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's Iowa.
The other side,
Iowa, sir.
Yeah.
Iowa.
I know, but when I went to LSU side, when they had their starting lineup, I said, sister. I said, oh yeah, they dogs. They ready to play tonight.
Hey, let me.
But I
That's
wanted.
LSU.
Here's the question that they're going to make up for the next year. Could the Gamecocks beat LSU? I think
No.
that's the game that Kim wanted.
Hold on.
I think that's the game that everybody wanted to see. I didn't know LSU was that sweet. Like I'm a, you know, and beat me up, all ladies out there. But I got sons, and then my daughters didn't play sports, so I wasn't into girl sports like that. I had some girlfriends that played softball and ran track and high school and stuff like that, but I wasn't. You know, I'm happy for all women, but this was my real game. I got to watch that little orange hair girl, Carrot Top.
Man, that was wrong for you to do that. That's the first text I got when she started hitting those threes. He said,
Carrots.
He said, look at Carrot Top out there.
That's
Carrots.
Carson, man. That's
I
Carson.
just
She
started
averages.
sending carrots.
And she averages about 6 to 8 points a game before that. Like she lit up. But back to the South Carolina LSU. South Carolina dominated LSU in the regular season. They did play each other earlier in the season, which is why
SEC, right? SEC.
Yeah, man. I mean, South Carolina,
okay.
they dominated LSU. If they would have rematched and played again, it probably would have been a different ball game. Because one thing about Kim Mulkey, as you mentioned, Griff, one of the coldest and one of the best coaches of all time. She recruited my daughter Harmony as well when she was still at Baylor. She won 3 championships at Baylor. And of course, this one right now is not as 4. And one thing that I love about her and respect her game, she allows all of her players to have personality, to have that swag.
I like that.
You know, a lot of coaches are afraid of players like Angel Reese and Alexis Morris and Flage, these big old personalities that people confuse with. It's not arrogant, they just confident. They're very self-confident.
Sweet.
And they play swag. And it's part of sports. They're gonna talk trash, they're gonna talk noise. And when they lose, they're gonna say, hey, you beat us this time, I'm gonna talk trash next time we play. That's part of the game.
But how did they slip under the radar? Because they came into the season. I know she went out, I know Mulkey went out and got
the portal.
9
new players on the squad. 9 new players.
9, dog.
Hey, Dave, you want to give me my props and my point about what the portal is in all sports, not just football?
When I heard that with my own ears, I was like,
come on, dog.
Ooh, Rock T.
Say it, Griff. Go ahead and say it. I ain't mad at you.
That portal. So here you go with 9 girls you don't even know.
Dog.
And you win the championship. They was already sweet when they entered the portal. And what Rock was saying,
but coaching plays a part.
For almost 40 episodes, Rock's been saying, when you get in the portal, even if you think you're going to go somewhere sweet, it don't matter, because now coaches and other assistant coaches are going, hey, you see this dude in the portal? You see this girl in the portal? She under the radar in the portal. She just came from Maryland. So it ain't like what we thought where, oh, if you a Terrapin, that ain't a high school, like, you know, where you're not just going to go to Michigan but it looked like, I mean, that girl getting 4. I just spent about 30 minutes on Angel Reese's Instagram. TurboTax, Sonic, Coach, Raising Cane's. She got nothing. She doing nothing but her Instagram is commercials.
Yeah.
And every now and then she's doing a TikTok. But other than that, it goes straight to the commercials.
These girls, there's no need to rush into the WNBA. They all these top players, they're gonna be there. They're gonna get into the WNBA. But because if I can make just as much money or more as a college athlete and get these NIL deals, then I might as well go ahead and stay.
Why would I leave? Why? Right. She was making $400,000 before the championship. When she come to school this year, the world is her.
And see, here's the deal. Here's the deal with the WNBA. It's not like the NBA. Well, it kind of sort of is, but the only players that really get paid decently
is 5 of them.
Are them top 5 picks.
The MVP from the Las Vegas Aces.
I'm talking about when you get drafted. Like when you get drafted, you got to be in that top 3 to 5 picks, and you're gonna get the most money from all the draft picks, because there's only 3 rounds in the WNBA. There's only 3 rounds, and there's only 12 teams. So you can be a dog in college, and still not get picked in the WNBA draft. You know, and you got to go play overseas somewhere, which, you know, that's cool. That's still another option. But for the most part, 3 rounds on 12 teams, that's 36 players. If I did my math correctly. You know what I'm saying?
The best of the best quick.
Right. So now, if you got people like Aaliyah Boston, who's the #1 player in the country, her and Caitlin Clark, but Aaliyah's coming out. She's already applied. Say, I'm going to the WNBA. She's going to be the #1 pick. So people like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark is like, okay, yeah, I can come out, but why not? I'm gonna go ahead and stay in college another year because I want to be the #1 pick next year.
Caitlin about to get some money too.
But I think in women's basketball, they make it's not like men's basketball.
You got to be a junior or 22. No, 21. Either 21.
Because Caitlin Clark is a junior.
Yeah, she could come out if she can come out if she wants to.
They said she couldn't. They said she has to come back next year.
Really?
That's what I'm telling you what they said the other day.
I
didn't know it.
We got to double check that because I think you either have to be age 21 or a junior, whichever one comes first. Or
whatever. So she might be young, Dave. She might be young because I didn't know that little girl.
I'm just telling you what they said. They said unlike the men, you cannot come out. You have to play from
4 years.
I'm gonna look it up now. You have to play 4 years.
I thought it was 3.
Angel Reese is 20, but she'll be going into her 4th year of basketball
because she got it. She got
not eligible to go to the WNBA.
Well, all players because of COVID got an extra year of eligibility. So instead of having 4 years of eligibility, now you got 5 years. So a lot of these players are staying in. They're called super seniors, and they're staying that extra year.
I heard that term. Okay.
Absolutely. So on that note, man, let's talk about Jill Biden after we get finished chopping up our amazing McDonald's partner. We're going to come back talk about what our first lady, Jill Biden, said. Well, our first lady is Michelle Obama. But
I was about to say, that's your first lady.
Yeah. So out of respect, First Lady Jill Biden said she wants to
It's my first lady.
Erica Campbell in the building. What up, though? So she want to invite LSU and Iowa to visit the White House, and you can't disrespect that like that, Miss Biden. So we're gonna give you our thoughts and opinions on that situation. But right now, it's all about McDonald's, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. If y'all don't understand why I Hate the Homie is sponsored and brought to you by the McDonald's McCrispy sandwich. It's the same crispy chicken sandwich you love, all right? Just renamed the McCrispy to let the world know it's reached iconic menu status and is here to stay, Griff.
Well, the McCrispy has the same pickles and buttered bun you love, same silver bag, and the crispy crumbs at the bottom that you love. It just leveled up with a new name and an amazing new flavor.
Come on, dog.
It's the bacon and ranch. It has entered the chat, y'all.
Come on, dog.
Introducing the bacon ranch McCrispy, baby.
And if you thought the McCrispy was busting,
wait
until you get a taste of this.
Say it ain't so, man. So all you got to do is pull up on a bacon ranch McCrispy at your local participating Mickey D's today. But hurry. It's only available for a limited time, man. It is what it is. You heard it right here. The stamp of I Hate the Homies podcast. Boom. There it is right there. All right. So Jill Biden, First Lady, says, hey, we want to invite the champions of the the NCAA Women's March Madness LSU Tigers to come visit the White House, as she should. Any champion in any sport always gets invited to the White House to celebrate. Then they bring the jersey, they give it to the president, and they have a speech and blah, blah, blah. But she didn't stop there. Oh, no. She says, well, let's also bring Iowa. And let's bring them both at the same time. They both played good. They both played hard. And they both deserve it. You must be out of your doggone mind, Jill Biden. Come on, man. The champions get the invite to the White House. No disrespect to Iowa. No disrespect to Caitlin Clark. The run that they had was amazing. Invite them on a different date. Invite them on a different. You can still invite them, but not the same time that LSU is coming. If I'm Coach Kim Mulkey, I'm telling my squad, I'm saying, look, if y'all don't want to go, because you feel disrespected because she invited them. Let's go hang out with the Obamas. We're going to Chi-Town and we're gonna hang out with them.
Well, what that good wholesome coach ain't gonna do is turn up a chance to go to the White House. That's just number one. But I wanted to read y'all this. North Carolina plans to ban participation trophies in youth sport leagues with the new bill. What we're not teaching our children is to be prepared for life. Be prepared for failure. Kids are being taught that it's okay to just be okay and that you don't have to be the best.
Good.
Shout out to North Carolina doing that.
Good.
But boo to the president's wife and I understand she was just like me and Dave. She got caught up in a good game. You know what I'm saying? First of all, she was probably like, they making me go to the girl championship. Like, she got caught up in a good game and was like, man, but you know, she actually said, I got to talk to Joe to see if I can get both of them. Well, what's never happened in the history of winners coming to the White House is that the loser came. Never. That's just the rule. I appreciated Caitlin Clark. I told you I was a fan. I actually picked them. And what we gotta stop doing, America, is the wussification of America. You played a good game, but you lost.
Period.
So if the losers could get off the floor so we can get this confetti cracking, we got winner stuff to do. Like, no offense, everybody know it's always a sad locker room, Super Dave, where grown men is crying, where girls gonna cry. Everybody can't win.
Okay, but we can say all that, but let's go right down to the wire. What is really called? If this was LSU losing to Iowa, would Jill Biden be saying the same thing about LSU being invited?
I ain't even.
The point is, the race always plays an issue in this. I think it's a big part because what did I tell you before? When I saw that starting lineup for Iowa, and I know y'all said it's Iowa, but nothing but white girls, right? In your starting lineup, they lose to nothing but sisters. You start feeling sorry for those guys. It was a hell of a game, but it was hell of a game for LSU. But you got to bring race into this because I think at the end of the day, I don't think LSU would get that same kind of talk from Jill Biden to have them come out if they would have lost that game.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a great game. I thought
they got 20-piece almost, man. They almost got 20-piece. Let's be honest. Look,
it wasn't like I thought. The game before with South Carolina, Iowa was a better game, but this was a blowout.
Well, see, the whole year LSU's been getting disrespected. This is why they play with a chip on their shoulder, because even when they were 9-0 early in the season, they wasn't ranked. When they was 15-0, they wasn't ranked. And if they were, they were like real, like 25 or whatever. But they barely broke into the top 25. You got teams with 2 losses mid-season, and they're ranked higher than LSU, and they don't even have any losses yet. So they finally put them on. They finally ranked them. They got all the way up to, I think, 4, 3, maybe 2 at one point in time. But even then, when they were at the top, they had to. I think before South Carolina was their first loss of the season, and that was late in the season. So South Carolina was obviously the number 1 team in the country. You had the number 2 and the number 3 team that had 2 losses apiece. LSU was still undefeated. There is no reason why they shouldn't have been number 2.
Oh, understood.
So
I know all that. I ain't know the backstory.
Yeah, and then when they lost to South Carolina, they bumped them down in the rankings significantly. So it's like, but when another team, I ain't gonna say names, lose, they drop maybe 1 or 2 spots.
They hover.
Yeah, they hover 1 or 2 spots. So Monkey was like, they've been disrespecting them the whole time, and it's like, man,
I think it's more than disrespect. It's more about race. I go back to my question, and you guys can answer it for me. Would Jill Biden have done the same thing for
Not at all.
LSU?
Nah.
Okay, then let's call it what it is. At the end of the day,
in the end,
she's looking out.
This is why I'm mad. Are we talking about this right now, or are we waiting another?
We're waiting. We're talking about what is being called on this side as far as what Jill is doing.
Well, what watching a lot of sports commentators, white men, kind of dog this girl, Angel Reese, and it's been making me mad because you can hear how it don't have to do with the game no more. They just having a moment to be kind of racist, like just.
But
you
that's
know
what
I'm saying? She's a thug.
That's what Biden is doing. It wasn't about.
No, you're absolutely right. But at one point, you gotta say, look at all these black girls. Look at all these white girls.
Mm-hmm.
Who you like?
Exactly. And then again, you're giving them a participation award, and that's what we got to get away from.
Is that the
They
white?
right here.
They lost the damn game to a better team.
Look.
They lost the game to a better team, which is LSU. I'm getting sick and tired of people getting the second and third place. What was it? Ricky Bobby said that if you ain't first, what do you say?
That's all I hear right now, dog.
What do you see?
The bobblehead just talking.
We had to find that.
That's Super Dave. That's Super Dave.
And this is him talking about Jill Biden. Hey, Dave.
You shall not pass.
To come to the White House.
Okay, can you stop playing with stuff that you play in the tub with? You're bringing that stuff to work. Please don't do that.
And look, Rock. This was Super Dave get mad. Stop talking. Stop talking to me about the NIL. And this when he be warm for a man right here.
Super Dave, you tell me you had your own little dolls, dog.
That's what we're going to.
When he listening to music, this is who he turned into right here.
Baby Prince. Oh man.
I hate you. Can't have a damn conversation.
But no, let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about why Angel Reese was giving Caitlin this business right here. Because
let's go to a break, and when we come back, since we done talking about Jill right now, when we come back, let's talk about
Joe. Control your woman, please. Control your woman. At the end of the day, control your woman.
Yeah.
Y'all looking like that?
Words of Super Dave.
That's it. Who don't have one, by the way, Mr. President. So
still.
He can talk reckless. He can talk reckless.
All right, so we'll be back. We're going to talk about this right here. That's coming up next, man. Well, if y'all didn't watch the Iowa versus Maryland game, Caitlin was giving the business. That's where that came from. Okay.
So for the people not, and you just listening to the podcast, it's when you wave your hand in front of your face, and it actually means you can't see me.
Right.
A wrestler, a big wrestler. I don't remember his name.
John Cena. He
did. He used to go, "You can't see me," and then a lot of sports reporters, they do that. Oh, he's shooting three. Anyway. That's what we talking about when we talk about this gesture that was made.
Right. Caitlin Clark did that in the Louisville game to a player.
The Louisville game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. It was Louisville. Absolutely. So, which is another dog player that Louisville got, Haley Van Lith.
I was about to say,
another white girl that can ball. She can ball too.
Damn, man.
Yes.
Where are you girls coming from, man?
Hey, dog. I'm telling you, man. You better start paying attention and recognize.
Oh, from now on, I'm all the way in.
Come on, man. That's what that came from. So, of course, we don't know all of what was said before the LSU Iowa game. There's been rumors that Caitlin Clark was kind of talking a little undertone smack to LSU. But
we don't know that.
We don't know that for sure.
Michael Jordan made up stuff to get himself hyped.
Exactly. So we don't know. But so at the end of the game, Angel Reese is actually on the free throw line. Well, she's not on the free throw line, but she's one of the rebounders. And she looks, and Caitlin Clark is right next to her as the player's about to get ready to shoot a free throw. And she look at Caitlin and just doing this, like in her face. Caitlin ignoring her. She see her with a peripheral, but she's ignoring her. Then after the game, Angel made a point to go in her vision.
Walked all the way to where she was
and say, hey, look, we got the ring, you don't. And
gave her a good black woman eye roll, too.
Yes, sir. And that's what went viral. And that's what everybody talking about. She's classless. That's not proper sportsmanship, blah, blah, blah. Man, go somewhere. It's part of sports. I'm all for trash talking. I'm all for competitiveness. I am also all for shaking the person's hand that just beat you too and say, hey, good game. I'm all for that too. But as far as all that stuff, man, come on, man. She's standing up for what she believes in. And back to when she was 13, 14, 15, all the way through AAU and all that, and in high school too, people has always said that about Angel Reese. They've always said that she's got an attitude. They've always said she's not going to be coachable. They always said that she's this and that she's that. None of this is new. I've watched this young lady grow up with all of that.
More, dog.
And she's always like, okay, keep talking, okay. And she continues to elevate her game while all these haters are talking about saying she ain't going to do this, she ain't going to do that. And now she's doing it on the highest level in college basketball, and she's going to continue to do it in the WNBA when she gets there. So
let's hear from Angel Reese.
I was about to say this. Listen.
The narrative, I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year. But when other people do it, y'all don't say nothing. So this was for the girls that look like me, that's going to speak up on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is going to go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited. So I'm looking forward to celebrating in the next season.
Boom.
We're going to go to our right-hand side of the...
That's it.
But okay, so let me go back to these white men. Somebody, Dan, what's his name? He used to be a big ESPN dude. Dan
Oberman. Keith Oberman.
Keith Oberman, yes, says she's a effing clown or
a effing idiot.
Thank you for correcting me. And I just feel like, what happened to you being a non-biased commentator? Like when can, like, we wouldn't be able to say somebody's an effing idiot without having to back that up. But I think Keith need to see her brother. I think her father need to say, hey, Keith, let's take all sports away from it. You talking to my daughter? You said, what about my daughter?
Message.
Like, I'm a father. Like I ain't, and Shaq checked him too. But I'm just saying, like, that's why to bring up what Dave said last, it became very white and black.
That's what it is. That's what it, they don't understand us. But the bad part is, you see their players do the same thing. It's part of sports. It doesn't have anything to do with black or white or being a man or a woman. We accept it when a man does it. We see it in the NBA all the time. We see it on the NFL field all the time. But when a woman does it, I don't go crazy, because I think that's part of, if you're a competitor, you're gonna say some stuff.
Supposed to talk like nobody in our community is going, hey man, Angel need to scale it back. So
look, man,
you're a dog. You show you're a dog.
Come on, dog. Look, when I played sports, I didn't talk trash, but if somebody started talking trash to me, I'm talking trash back. And it's not talking trash if you backing it up. Now, if you just talking trash and running your mouth and you sorry
and you missing
and you ain't doing nothing,
you finish the game with 4.
Now you looking like a fool. And I raise my kids the same way as athletes and say, look, you ain't got to go out there and run your mouth. Let your performance speak for itself. But if they start running their mouth and talking trash, you have my permission to talk back. But if you talk back, you better be dominant. You better be delivering, and you better be killing them.
And what was Angel Reese doing? She was taking up for some of the competitors that she played against, like South Carolina, on what Caitlin Clark did to them, what she did to the player at Louisville. She's taking up for those players because she can do this all day. Nobody said anything about Caitlin Clark doing that. It was never brought up.
Right.
They probably looked at it and go, "Oh, it's not a big deal." But once you see one black female athlete do that, now she becomes what?
A thug and horrible for the game. But this is what I love about Caitlin. She sucked it up and took it on the chin because she knew she did it to other people. She knew.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with commentators and everybody else. She was like, she right.
I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up, man, because Caitlin Clark, from what I know of her, from watching her grow up in the, she's always been in the spotlight since youth basketball.
Okay.
She's always been a player with good character and integrity.
I like her.
And if she plays like she a dog. So when she win, she gonna let you know. But when she loses, she gonna be like, she gonna shake your hand. She gonna say, "Good game."
I heard her in the huddle say, "Heads up."
Yeah.
When the game was about, when they called a timeout and it was like 20 seconds left and they was down by almost 17, she said, "Heads up."
Now,
heads up.
Now let me say this. Let's talk about when Angel Reese was saying, "We got the ring, we just won the championship." Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Caitlin was talking some noise out there. I wouldn't be surprised if she had a couple slick things to say. And at the end of the day, when you got someone talking slick to you, but the scoreboard say otherwise, you point to the scoreboard and
look at the scores. What we used to say as kids.
Look at the score. And what Angel was saying was, it don't matter what y'all saying, we got the ring. So that's my interpretation on what was probably going on. And I hate that. I don't hate it. I'm proud of it. I'm glad, because I'm gonna bring up my daughter again. Harmony was playing. She was on the road playing against I can't remember what team, but they had a loud student section. And that student section, their job is to give it to the opponent.
Absolutely.
And just
in
heckle
every school around the country.
Heckle them. Because she was the leading scorer of the team. She's one of the top players in the Ivy. They was giving it to my baby. They was giving it to her. And every time she would miss a shot, they would give it to her. Every time she didn't make any kind of mistake, they was giving it to her. So she got hot and she was starting to lighten them up. And every time she made a shot, she pointed to the scoreboard. Every time she made a bucket, scoreboard. Every time and everybody they were like, "Well, you ain't Harmony, you ain't got to say nothing." No, they talking to me. Now I'm pointing. And I was like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Back it up. If you back it up, it ain't talking trash, man. Come on with it.
But this is the part right here. This is why this world will never become the place it should be. And that's why race will always play a part in this. Because each side, and we're talking about all different groups, we don't want to understand each other. We see something and we go after it. You see Angel Reese, you see Alexis Morris. Those girls can ball. But you see their antics on the court, which is nothing to us, to you, me, and Rock. But to them, they see a thug. And they're not. They're young women. Successful young women that have a ring right now. But then you'll be the first one, and I'm talking about white people, be the first one to say, well, there's nothing wrong with the world. We all get along. No, we don't, because we don't see everything. We see everything as black and white. That's it.
And that's understandable because of how we were all raised. So we pick a side. It's the bottom line. We pick a side. Hey, man, if you take 100 marbles and move 13 of those marbles to the left, that's all the black people in the country. So we're going to pick those 13 every time. I picked Iowa to win. I ain't know nothing about LSU and nothing anything right there. I just know that girl Caitlin is a problem. That's all I knew. If she could take down South Carolina like they was nothing, and they was and everybody that knows sports picked them to win it all, she got my vote. But until we have empathy for the other race, that's why the critical race theory is so important. If you take out slavery from the history books, then little white kids will grow up with no empathy. They'll say, "Why do black people hate us, Dad?"
Hate us.
And their dad can reply, "I don't know. Let's kill them." Because there's no empathy. There's no, Oh, they went through that. Oh, she's from Baltimore. It's an inner city place where most people don't come out of. There's no empathy. So until we start reciprocating that empathy, like we look at white people and we go, silver spoons.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's our stance.
Right.
Yeah.
And they look at us like, ghetto, rapists, murderers, gangbangers. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we have to change this narrative. And I always thought that sports was the equalizer. I thought if you was a fresh white boy and could play basketball, the black people where I'm from, they gonna show you love. Hey, that white boy bust us up for 36. You know what I'm saying? If you was a white boy that could be, you know, ain't no white boy running backs, kind of. If you was a white boy running back and you was sweet, you gonna get love from a black defense. that's just the rule. But if we can't keep the sports at an equal, like there we're all equal. It ain't no color. It's just who's the best. Angel Reese is 6'3". I watched her form. I watched where she stood waiting for rebounds. She's good, man.
I think Griff, I think players get it. What you said about Caitlin Clark, what you said about her not really paying attention to what Angel Reese said because it's part of the game. She know what she did 2 games before to the girl at Louisville. So it's no big deal. It's the people on social media. Because that's the people that trigger all this stuff and trigger this race stuff. So we're going toe to toe with each other at the end of the day. That's the problem.
I want to talk to Keith Olbermann.
Yeah, we all do, man. But
he's an idiot. But you're talking to an idiot.
Yeah, it really ain't even worth it, man. But let's real fast, man. Let's shout out to UConn men's basketball team for winning their fifth section. Yeah, winning their 5th men's NCAA title, knocked off San Diego State University, the Aztecs, that's the story right there. But I will say this. I will say this.
Horrible basketball game.
Yeah, man. But let's say this, man. UConn has won a title in each of the last 4 decades, so you got to say something to that. They won easy throughout this entire tournament. Every game they averaged a victory of 20 points. They ran through this tournament
and held their 5 opponents to 59 points.
Yeah, so you know,
59 points.
There you go. It is what it is. That's really all we need to mention about the men's game. No
Name
disrespect.
2 people from UConn.
You and Con.
But that shows you exactly where the game is right now.
It's not good for men's basketball, dog. It's not good that LSU and Iowa is still being talked about like they played yesterday.
The only game that I really have an eye on, it caught my attention in men's basketball during the tournament was the game I told you about. It was Kansas State against Michigan State. That's the game that went in overtime. That was a classic to me. That was a great game.
Well, San Diego State beat FAU with a perfectly set shot at the buzzer, dog.
Every FAU game was off the chain. Every Florida Atlantic University game was off the chain, man. So it was some good entertaining games. But the women's tournament, man, it was just flat out. It was flat out better, dog.
I can't believe you got me. But the one thing they got to do, they got to keep it up.
Oh, they will.
Just like what Griff just said. Griff said he'll be back next year. You can say that now because we're living in the moment. But when football season ends next year, will we be watching college basketball?
Oh,
we start when the tournament starts.
Let me tell you something.
I know, Rock, you will because your daughter plays college basketball.
Rock got 3 more good seasons.
For me and Griff, this is a new introduction to women's college basketball.
And you guys just got a smidgen of all the dogs that are out there. Women's,
it's their job to keep us.
They gonna keep you. The more that y'all watch,
but I believe your daughter gonna go to the tournament next year. So then we could just go buy Harvard shirts and you know what I'm saying? Like I'm all in for your daughter, dog. I promise you.
Hey, I appreciate the love, man.
Who won the NIT?
Kansas won.
Don't go there. You don't care about that. Don't do that.
Ooh.
Yeah, look around. What'd you call it?
The WNIT?
The nobody's interested tournament.
Hey, don't be disrespecting that NIT like that, dog.
And for
You
the
right.
men's,
Let me just play
just in
cards
case you want to
real
know,
quick.
North Texas won the men's
And Kansas won the women's,
for
Oh,
being
okay.
the 69th best team in college basketball,
which is still good.
That's you doing the same thing Jill doing. What Jill Biden is doing.
69th, dog.
No. Hold on.
Champion.
If you want to go there, let's go there. That's completely different. Here's why it's different. Here's why it's different. This is where, and this is a tough decision. Like, if it would be tough to be able to vote those bubble teams into the tournament, because if you take the Power 5 schools that can afford to lose 10 games in a year, but because they are North Carolina, or but because they are Florida State, or because they are, you know, Alabama or South Carolina, whoever, they're part of a Power 5 school. And you got some of these teams. There's 3 or 4 teams in the Ivy League that can beat a lot of these Power 5 schools. And guess what? In the NIT, in the WNIT, you found that out.
We're doing the same thing Jill Biden is doing.
No, man, it's different. No, it's different. It's different.
Hey, Griff,
there's a lot of teams that did not get into the NCAA tournament, men's and women, that can beat a lot of teams that made it in. But that's okay.
Griff,
That's part of it.
Rock. I haven't listened to you in 2 minutes, dog. I don't know what you're talking
Who are the men's, Griff? Who won the men's championship? Who are the men's champions? Who won in women's?
LSU.
Kansas.
That's all that matters.
Oh, are you talking about the NCAA? Yeah.
No,
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
Place.
No, I'm with you on that. All I'm saying is the WNIT and the NIT is still some dogs out there.
Because you're biased. Your daughter
man.
played in the NIT. You know everybody that go to every school. Me and Dave, we only can watch 4 games, dog. You're not gonna use all my games up on the NIT.
I'm riding for the NIT teams and the WNIT teams out there. A lot of y'all should have been in the tournament, but there's only 68 spots.
But you just said it. You said should have been. They're not.
Right. Because there's only all right. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
It doesn't matter.
So let's move on to Patrick Beverly. What's that, dog?
What's that little house.
The NIT.
This is where all the NIT teams live, right? You can catch them on the side.
In the backyard.
Hey,
Griff, with their second place trophies. With
their participating trophy. The participation ribbons.
Oh, man.
Nah, so Patrick Beverly, man, he says that he don't have sex before games because it drains his energy. Griff, like this, I mean, this is
let's talk about it. Let's take a break and come back and talk about Mr. Beverly.
You don't want to talk more about the NIT, dog? All right, so Patrick Beverly. Okay, I'm done talking about the NIT, y'all.
I'm a rabbit from 8 Mile, dog.
All right, so Patrick Beverly, NBA superstar, who is one of my favorite players because he's another one.
Superstar is strong.
No. Oh,
yeah.
Is Draymond Green a superstar?
Super Dave.
Superstar.
Super Dave.
He's a good player.
Draymond Green, don't.
There's levels.
Dave.
There's levels.
I tell you about throwing superstar around. That's what we do too much.
Can I explain, sir?
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
There's
anybody
levels.
who could D up so and so could is it superstar though, Rob?
There's levels to superstar status. You got your LeBrons, you got your Steph Currys, you got your Kevin Durant's, you got your James Hardens, you got your Giannis Antetokounmpo's, bona fide superstar players.
And then you got Patrick Beverly. So tell us the story.
No, here's why I say Patrick Beverly is considered a superstar in the league. When it comes to statistics, no, he's not up there with those players I just named statistically, okay? But when it comes to players that make a bona fide impact in the league as a player, you got players like Draymond Green. You got players like Patrick Beverly, these role players that are superstars in their role. That's what I mean. They're superstars as a role player. Now, y'all can say what you want to say. That's my opinion. That's my thoughts. But I think there's a lane for that.
I'm going to end this for you with the
At this point, I want to put you in a little glass thing,
He got too many toys. He got too many damn toys.
Go somewhere, dog.
I say superstar. I'm already going to echo what Super Dave is about to say. We must be very careful with the GOAT word. We must be very careful with superstar. I think of Patrick Beverly. I don't think of LeBron James. I think of Patrick Beverly. I don't think of James Harden. I think of Patrick Beverly. I don't think of nobody that anybody who casually watch basketball thinks of because he's not there yet.
You're speaking to my point. You're speaking to my point.
Do I want a Patrick Beverly on my team? Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I say it like this because the only thing I was getting mad about is the word superstar. This is gonna end this right here about Patrick Beverly and the superstar part. Is when he leaves the game, will he be remembered? Yes. Or no?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. He will be for his role, the type of role that he played on his teams.
Okay, get to the sex part. I mean, come on.
Y'all are dismissing the point. I already said he's not up there with the LeBrons and the KDs.
No one's gonna miss Patrick Beverly, though.
Thank you. That's all I said. Yes or no?
Rock.
I didn't say anybody was gonna miss him.
Rock.
He asked the question.
I give you your sports genius props. Nobody gonna miss Patrick.
So let me ask y'all this.
Let me ask you this. Will he be remembered? Yes.
Let me. And I said yes to that question. Do y'all remember Dennis Rodman?
He was a superstar in the league, dog.
He was a superstar. Why?
Because he's a rebounder.
He specialized at rebounding. Absolutely. He played his role. He was one of the best at rebounding. He was a role player.
Say Dennis Rodman and Patrick Beverly, dog.
Don't do that, man.
What do you consider? What's Patrick Beverly's strength?
Rock.
What's Patrick?
Lou Williams won six man awards.
And
6. Will he be remembered?
Probably not.
No.
He's not Patrick Beverly.
Oh my God. Okay. Just we're gonna talk about the sex part. That's it. That's it. We're done. We're done. No, we're done.
Cool. I'm done. Okay, I got nothing to say.
We'll let you have your moment of being the fake ass sports genius.
I'm a little disappointed in you, Rock. I ain't even going.
So let me. First of all, I can care less what y'all think. But let me ask y'all a question. Since y'all are asking me questions, let me ask both of y'all this question. What is Patrick Beverly's main job every time he steps on the court?
He plays defense.
Get under your skin.
No, don't water down the type of defense he plays. What kind of defense?
He gets under the best player's skin.
Pisses you off, has you off your game, makes you not get 30 that night. All those things.
Now, how often does he accomplish that goal?
Pretty much every time he plays.
No, not every time. No, Steph still gets his points.
Not every time, but out of 50 games, 42 games.
Okay, so you answer my question. In his role, listen to me and don't cut me off.
I can't believe this.
He's a superstar at being a role player, not LeBron, not Kevin Durant, not Jordan. As a role player, he's a superstar at that. That's what I'm talking about. So y'all can take it for whatever you want.
He is not.
Close out, man. I hate the Homies podcast. Appreciate y'all.
No.
What?
Talk about the sex part. Don't just.
I'll let you.
No, that's your point.
Y'all put y'all points.
Griff, you know what? It ain't worth it because his credentials are gone.
Going somewhere with that crap.
Rock. This is my question. If Patrick Beverly isn't on LeBron James and them status, and he's still a superstar, it is who else? Give me 3 more people that's Patrick Beverly-esque.
Rodman.
Stop. No.
Don't do that.
Who's
you
playing
asked
right
me
now?
who you asked the question to? Who did you ask the question to?
Who you asked the question to?
Let me hear it. You're right. I asked you.
Rodman, Draymond Green, Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, I gotta go. We go. Okay.
Bill Laimbeer, dog.
We gotta go now. We gotta go.
Done. I hate the homies out.
Sex ain't good for you after a game or something. That's the end of the podcast.
You know what?
I love Rock too much.
Griff,
I love Rock too much to let him go out like this.
It's too late. He'll never come back from this.
Facts, baby, facts. You
named proper superstars that played in the game. We do remember Bill Laimbeer. We do remember Dennis Rodman.
We do remember Bill Laimbeer.
You know Draymond Green.
We do. Draymond Green, man.
Okay.
A role player.
Rock. No. Rock. Out of us. Out of and we'll take 100. We'll do like Family Feud, dog. We take 100 people. Is Patrick Beverly a superstar? How many people gonna say yes? And not counting you in the 100.
You can't ask it like that. You can't ask it like that. Because if you ask it like that, stop. If you ask a question like that, nobody's gonna say, "Oh yeah, he's a superstar." Because I've already said he's not a LeBron. He's not the KD. Those are the bona fide superstars. I'm just saying he's a superstar at being a role player. You gotta remember. You gotta remember. Role
player. Stop that.
What you talking about? Slow down, doggone little gremlin. Slow down, dog.
That was very baby. Super.
I'm getting frustrated.
No, but back to my question. How many of those 100 people would say Patrick Beverly is a superstar?
Probably none of them, if you ask it like that.
Well, how should I ask it?
If you say,
is Patrick Beverly a Hall of Famer?
Come out and dance like the Rocketeers and ask that question.
No, but if you say, would you consider Patrick Beverly to be a superstar role player? Out of those 100 people, I'll be modest. Maybe 50 or 60 of them would say yes.
You're saying superstar and role player. I consider him a great what Patrick Beverly is. I want him on my team. I want him on my team.
He's a role player.
Okay.
Will I trade his ass away? Absolutely.
And he's been traded many times.
And he's been succeeding many times.
Everywhere he goes, he plays that same role on every team he goes to. Now, Super Dave, let me ask you a quick question before we leave. You're a Cowboys fan. We all know that. Who is probably considered the greatest role player on the Dallas Cowboy roster of all time in the history? And this is a special teams player. Who would be the first?
I already knew that.
Bill Bates.
Okay, now, is Bill Bates, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach, Drew Pearson? No. Is he like the great superstar players of the team? No. But as a special team role player,
he's trying to change it up.
Answer the question, Dave.
You trying to change it?
Answer the question.
He's a role player.
And he's what kind of role player for the Cowboys? And in the
great
league?
One.
A great one. So if you saying great super, he's a at his role. He's one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest special team players of all time. Yes or no, Super Dave?
No.
Griff, can you correct this dude?
No, he's not.
If you had to put together special teams,
he's not the greatest. That's what you just said.
I said one of the greatest special team players.
He's my top 10. He's in the top 10.
Yeah,
so he's a superstar special team player.
Okay.
I'm saying superstar. That's the problem we hate.
Griff, let's talk to the Raider Nation man. Out of the history of the Raider Nation, name one player. I know you can probably name a bunch of them, but name one role player that you would put on your Raider football team anytime.
I will put Rocky Turner on my team because who knows what he gonna do.
Come on, baby, let's go. Let's go.
Rock.
Let's go.
Rock. We gonna have to get Patrick Beverly on just to let you talk to him the way you loved on that man just now, dog.
Let's go. We need to create a new category. Rock Teasy, the sports genius, just created a superstar category for role players. There you go.
Just look at Rock. Hey, Griff, just look at Rock for a second. You know what he looked like? Trump. He looked and sounded like Trump.
Really?
Let's just end it there. 45. Let's end it.
It's actually 46. Let's go.
46, 45.
Let's go.
I don't
Call me
care.
46.
That is
baby.
how you end right there on the wrong. All right. Well,
What's that? Raider Nation? All right, that's it, man. Y'all can't see me. There it is right
I don't
there.
want to see you no more.
I Hate the Homies podcast. Keep telling a friend to tell a friend. All the 5-star reviews, all the comments. Shoot us a DM. Follow us on social media, YouTube, all of that good stuff. Rock Teasies, who are busy.
I'm Griff, and I actually just hate Rock T and not all the homies on this episode.
I'm the superstar. I guess role player. However Rock said it. I'm Super Dave, but guess what? Please.
We don't care.
We don't care.
Sure. There it is. Deuces.
You wasted 20 minutes of my life I'd never get back.
A whole 11 for sure.
Go on somewhere with all that bull crap. Later, Mike.
I hate the homies.